too much power. It has to die. I'm Retro. This is Retro Rips.
広がる闇の中交わし合って革命の次に誰にも邪魔させるわけにはいかないから
This is Ryuk. Ryuk is the sociopath who set this entire chain of events into motion. He is essentially a Grim Reaper who dropped his scythe into the human world just because he thought it'd be fun to see what a human would do with it. Every in-depth series was just so he could have a good laugh.
You're the devil.
This is Light Yagami. How would I describe Light Yagami? You know that guy in school you just wanted to beat the crap out of because he was better than you and he knew it? That's Light. He's a straight A honor student with literal perfect scores who never does anything wrong. Don't you just want to throttle his freaking neck? When Ryuk begins his game, for lack of a better word, Light Yagami is the one who inevitably ends up suffering the most. Once he comes in contact with Ryuk's scythe, it's really just a matter of time before his soul becomes tainted. This is the Death Note, or Ryuk's scythe. This is what allows Light to control life and death itself. By writing in it, he can literally take somebody's life, almost as simply as that. To be fair though, there are a set of rules that Light must follow in order to kill somebody, which are as follows. Go ahead and read them, I'm not going to read them for you. Don't let your mind become lazy. Think for yourself. And hell, like any sane person would, Light actually tests this Death Note before he just takes the random strange note's word for it. So, yeah, good on you, Show. After a few days, Light's become completely enthralled with the Death Note, and that's when Ryuk shows up. Light claiming that he's been waiting for him.
You're fucking full of shit, kid. So a magic book drops from the sky, and the first thing you think, a Grim Reaper must have dropped it. You did not know a Grim Reaper dropped a book. No. Fuck you.
Getting past that last bit, because hell, if I don't try, I never will, Ryuk tells Light all about the Death Note. How he is a Shinigami and lives in the Shinigami world, and how he dropped it in the human world because he was bored, and that now that Light has it, he now basically has control over life and death in the human world. And because, hey, if the Shinigami who appears to you in your house in the middle of the night isn't your best friend, then who is? Light tells Ryuk all about his plan to essentially clean the world and become its new god. In other words, he's going to kill all the world's criminals and anybody else standing in his way of world domination. Ryuk, pleased with this foolish nonsense, declares that when it's all said and done, he will be the one to kill Light. Because it is the duty of any Shinigami who drops his notebook in the human world to kill the first human who picks it up.
You know what? I believe him.
The temptation of that notebook is greater than that of which any man has ever experienced.
Ryuk is sort of a funny character. He's really just there to be Ryuk. I mean, for the first couple of episodes, he has a really big part in everything. And then from there on out, he's just another voice for Light to talk off of, and occasionally does things that will help Light out. And just generally enjoy the rise of this crazy psychopath maniac who goes around killing everybody. So right away, there are two kinds of people. People who like Light and people who don't like Light. The people who like Light like him because they're entitled pieces of self-centered shit. Always thinking about themselves, what they can do to make the world a better place. The rest of you, who I like to call sane people, are immediately disgusted by the fact that this guy's taking it upon himself to kill this many people, as you'll soon see. Death Note is for teenagers. Angsty teenagers who don't have anything better to do than to romanticize about the thought of being able to kill somebody off with nothing but the whim of their thought. I mean, sure, it's kind of an interesting idea, giving one kid the power of God and seeing what he does with it as sort of a sociological study of the human mind, except that this is just a story. These are just the presumed actions of what somebody might do if they were offered the power of a death note. You don't know for sure that they'd take that power. Hell, I wouldn't take that power. As tempting as the idea is that you could just be God, proclaim who lives, who dies, I don't know, it appears to me that the only people it really appeals to are people who have control issues. Worries about the actions of other people, even when literally none of these people have ever done anything to Light. Sure, they're mass murderers and serial killers, but who is Light to judge them as lesser than himself, especially when he's so willing to go off on this major killing spree? But of course, like all great stories, there's a character for that. We just haven't gotten to him yet. I'm Retro. This is Retro Rips. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Please? I work really hard. Unfortunately for you and I, we're not done here yet.